So, why does gamification work? Let's jump in and have a look at a couple of reasons why gamification is so valuable and important in the classroom. All right, our first reason is that gamification boosts motivation. So, gamification taps into that intrinsic motivation by making learning feel rewarding. Now, we know that our students, they respond to achieving something, they respond to getting something by having something like a reward, something like points or badges. All right, it is going to really motivate our students to keep moving forward. They're going to show that they love learning. They are going to demonstrate that learning is exciting. They are going to really show us that it's not a chore, that learning is something that can be fun and exciting because they have that intrinsic motivation to continue to achieve. So, a really great way and a really great reason why gamification in the classroom is so important. Another reason why gamification works in the classroom. Gamification promotes engagement. If you have ever played any kind of game with a child or even an adult or a teenager, whatever, whoever, wherever, if you played a video game, if you have played some kind of board game, you know that it promotes engagement. It really encourages our young people or anybody, again, I keep going back to young people because obviously we are talking about students, but gamification and playing those games promotes engagement. So when our students are active participants rather than passive recipients, they're more likely to stay focused. So rather than jumping in here and talking to the kids for 60 minutes and boring the absolute life out of them, why can't we incorporate some kind of gamified element so that they are active in their learning? So, games and game like elements can turn those challenges, puzzles, or adventures that hold attention for our students into something that is going to be enjoyable, not only for yourself, but also engaging for your students. All right, our next reason why does gamification work in the classroom is because it encourages resilience and a growth mindset. Now, these are terms that we hear all the time. We must be resilient. We must have a growth mindset. All right, we've heard these before. You probably still use them, and there's nothing wrong with using those. And it's really important that we encourage our students and really motivate and show them that sometimes by failing, it's actually a chance for us to continue to improve, continue to work on something and get better and better and better. All right. Here I am. I have been creating videos for a number of years now. I have been presenting live streams and I'm still making mistakes. I'm still having problems. We had tech problems at the beginning of the show tonight. Okay. So I have these as well. Does this mean that I'm not going to come back next time for the next episode of Innovative EdTech? Absolutely not. It means that I'm going to come back. Hopefully, I'm going to identify what didn't quite go to plan and make sure that that doesn't happen next time. Sometimes these things are out of my control, but I'm going to try my absolute best. So, gamification, it encourages resilience and that growth mindset. So, we know in games, failure isn't final, it's just a chance to try again. All right. So if you've ever played a game, if you played a game of Monopoly, you know that sometimes you aren't going to win, that you are going to lose dismally. You might accidentally die and have to come back and use one of your many lives that you might have accumulated. But we know that this isn't the end. Whenever you're playing a game and something happens, you're not going to be sent right back to the start necessarily and have to work on completing all of those missions and challenges and levels again. All right. So applying the various skills that our students have learned from your particular class allows our students to take those risks, to learn from their mistakes, but also to develop persistence. We know that learning doesn't just happen. We need to actually practice, practice, practice. Okay, it is that rote learning in a way, if you want to call it that still, that we need to actually make sure that we are using so that we are actually developing those skills, Skills take time. Some people just have natural abilities to do something. Other people need a little bit of time, but that comes with that persistence. So, gamification provides our students with that comfortable way of failing forward. All right. So, we are able to do something, we're able to incorporate some of those gamification elements, but we're able to do that in a safe, effective, supportive way that encourages that resilience as well as that growth mindset. Our next reason why gamification works in the classroom is that it is a great way to support differentiation. Now, we know that we have a myriad of different student learning abilities in our classrooms. That is just a given. All right. You can have a huge range. I have many classes this year, and I can tell you that I go from the very bottom to all the way up to the top, potentially high performing and gifted students. So you will have these in your classrooms. So gamification is a great way to support differentiation. Gamified tasks can be designed with multiple entry points, difficulty levels, and even choice pathways. So we actually have a lot of flexibility with a lot of the tools that we have available to us to support those differentiated entries, pathways, choices for our students. Now, this flexibility helps meet the diverse learning needs of our students, allowing them to progress at their own pace, allowing them to be the leaders, to take that agency, to move forward to the next step when they are comfortable and confident with whatever they have completed, whatever skill they have mastered, whatever they have been doing in the classroom. Okay, let's move on to our next reason why gamification works. We've talked about this one. Gamification, it provides that instant feedback. So our students don't need to wait forever to get that information and that feedback back to you. They can get it through quick feedback, through scores, badges. There might be progress indicators. There could be a number of different ways that we are providing feedback to them. A number of these tools that we're going to look at tonight can actually provide written answers or feedback to our students instantly so that they are able to see why their particular answer was correct or why the particular answer was incorrect. So this helps our students reflect as well as adjust immediately and maybe think about what they need to do moving forward. So gamification definitely helps provide instant feedback with our students. The next reason is that gamification builds collaboration and social connection. Now, we did allude to this in the previous slide, all right, when we talked about teamwork and collaboration, and absolutely. Many of those gamified activities that we might use involve teamwork, friendly competition. We can also have that peer to peer support. We can create a positive classroom culture. And it is something that I really promote when I use gamified learning in my classroom. I know that I have students in my year 8 class this year who will verbally just say what they're thinking when someone chooses the wrong answer or somebody does something. And that's a really great opportunity for me to talk to the class about making sure that we are respectful. Just because someone got that particular answer wrong doesn't mean that they didn't know the answer. They might have accidentally clicked the wrong response. They might have misread the question. Heck, I've misread questions many times when I have been participating in gamified learning in my classrooms with my students. So this is a really great way. Gamification is a really great way to build that collaboration as well as that social connection and having a look at some of those social skills. All right, and our final reason why gamification works in the classroom is that we can link those real world skills that we need our students to possess to the various activities that we are completing. So, those problem solving, decision making, strategy, and creative thinking skills that we all need to learn and develop can be naturally embedded in our gamified learning tasks, where our students can practice these skills whilst also engaging with the content that you are teaching. So we are embedding these skills, providing our students with the opportunity to practice these skills, but we're doing it in a way that is engaging, motivating, inspiring, collaborative, all of those different elements that are going to make gamification and gamified learning so successful in the classroom.